Welcome to Looking at the Markets. Usually on the weekends, I like to talk about stock charts that I'm looking at for the coming week. But because last week stocks went up so much, there really weren't a lot of short term bargains out there, not a lot of dips to buy, and no screaming bargains really that I could see that I wanted to talk about at least. So I did want to talk about bank stocks because I think there's a pretty good opportunity for regional bank stocks in particular. And I know all the media headlines are very fearful about regional bank stocks. And that's exactly why I like them right now, because I like to do the opposite of what the press, the media is telling you to do. If most people want to do one thing, I want to do the other, especially in the financial markets. And this is something that really wasn't discussed very much. On Friday, this came out. Key Fed inflation gauge rose 0.03% in February, less than expected. And this is the PCE, Personal Consumption Expenditures Index. And this is the one that the Federal Reserve is watching. It's their preferred inflation gauge. It seems like everybody wants to talk about CPI, Consumer Price Index, which is fine. I'm sure the Fed is watching that as well, but this is their favorite inflation gauge. And it came in below what was expected. And that is something that could be the Fed's excuse to stop raising interest rates, or maybe one more quarter point, 25 basis point interest rate hike probably in May, because April there aren't any Fed meetings or FOMC meetings. So the next one's in May. And I wouldn't be surprised if after that one, this could be their excuse to just slow down and even stop with the interest rate hikes. And that would be a huge benefit for banks, and especially these regional banks that I wanted to talk about today. So this seemed to fly under the radar, oddly enough. I mean, this is pretty important to the financial markets. And so what are some of the ones that I like in the regional bank stocks? Well, this one I think is a big opportunity. You can see this one, FRBK. Hardly anybody talks about this one. It just flew higher on Friday and also after hours on Friday. So what is this bank? I mean, you can research it on your own. I'll just give you the name, Republic First Bank, and you've probably heard of First Republic Bank, right? That's this one over here. And so what happened with FRBK, Republic First stock, believe it or not, a lot of people dumped this stock. They sold it off or they shorted it because they confused Republic First Bank with First Republic Bank. I know that sounds crazy. Like, why would somebody sell or short sell Republic First because it sounds like First Republic? That's crazy, but apparently people did that. And First Republic Bank, they've had problems. They've been in the headlines a lot for having problems. First Republic Bank might still be okay, but they've just been, this stock really got hammered. I mean, if you look at, here it is, from a $147 stock to $13, $14. So this one really, really got hammered. But some people sold off FRBK stock because the name is similar, which is an opportunity, I think. I'm sure this got sold off just because the entire regional banking sector pretty much got sold off as well. But this one just really got hammered partially because of the name confusion. And so there could be a pretty good opportunity here, I think. And actually, First Republic might be FRC stock might be an opportunity as well. I mean, this thing just got hit so hard, and if the company doesn't go bankrupt, they haven't so far. It's not SVB Financial Group, which is the holding company for Silicon Valley Bank. They had real problems. Okay, but this one might be okay. First Republic Bank might be all right, and these could change. Probably will change, but right now, I mean, PE ratio trailing 12 month of less than 2. So, we'll see what happens. They have an earnings report coming up soon. First Republic Bank does. So that could change these numbers pretty drastically. So you might want to wait until after First Republic has their earnings. I believe it's April 13th. So you might want to wait until after that. But this could be a pretty good opportunity if it goes down enough. Well, it's already gone down quite a bit. So even if this recovers halfway up to where it was before, that would be pretty amazing. Pretty amazing returns there. Just a few others. Here's one I like, PacWest. PacWest Bank, pretty affordable, $10 or less. And again, these could change, but PE ratio of 3, according to trailing 12 month, according to Yahoo Finance. And look at that dividend, 10%. I mean, wow. Now, it wouldn't shock me if they cut it to a certain extent, but for now, this is pretty impressive. And is this bank really that bad, or did it just get caught up in the fear mongering? So this went down from almost 30 to 10 or thereabouts, 2/3 down. Something to think about. Now, you don't want to put all of your account into any of these. All right, this is very risky. Just want to let you know. It's kind of like cryptocurrency, right? It could make a huge move or could go way down. So there's high risk, high reward potentially. WAL, by the way, this was PACW, PacWest, I should mention. Western Alliance Bank, WAL. WAL is not Walmart. WMT is Walmart. This is interesting as well. Take a look here. It was 75, 76, 77. Now it's less than half of that, 35 or so. PE ratio, 3.66. Yeah, I like that number. I don't know how accurate it is now, but and dividend yield of 4% if they don't cut it. So that's pretty impressive, I think. East West Bank, EWBC. This one's down from about 80 to 55. Excuse me, EWBC, East West. And PE ratio of 7, not too bad. Dividend, if they don't cut it, 3.5%. Pretty good. And if you just want to get the ETF, KRE is the regional banking ETF. So KRE, 43, 44 bucks, not bad. It's not extremely pricey. And the expense ratio, 0.35%, not too bad. That's not terrible. So it's not a bad way to go if you want to get some exposure to this, and if you're willing to be a stock picker and take some chances. Maybe you could create your own regional banking ETF by adding some of your own ideas here, including some of mine or not. All right, so check this out. This is on CNBC or wherever you get your information from. I believe this could be huge for regional banks, and I think some of them might be pretty severely oversold. Just be aware of your risk and don't over leverage yourself like some of those other banks did, unfortunately. All right, so hey, sorry, no big charts video this weekend, but again, if I don't find anything worth talking about or potentially buying because the market just went up a lot, I'll find something else to talk about. There's always something to talk about in the markets. So thank you so much for watching and listening. I will talk to you again soon.